The chairperson, the former Chief Justice Bat Katurebe, Honorable Justice Alice Mpaji Bahangaine, Honorable Justice Stephen George Engwau, Miss Joyce Nguze Hasasa, and Dr. Fred Henry Bateganya. The lead counsel is George Omunyokol and the secretary is Imelda Adongo. Also present was the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Honorable Norbert Mao.
What I can say without, I'm sure without causing controversy, is that where the power issue is now, the best medicine is a judicial commission of inquiry. Why? It is because all other efforts, people play around with us. The good thing with the Judicial Commission of Inquiry is that it has got, I think, powers of a court. While I can safely tell lies to any other group, any other panel, I think when I last studied law, I heard that if you tell a lie to Judicial Commission of Inquiry, you are committing perjury. So I think it is more authoritative, and of course it compels everybody to come, because sometimes some of the people don't show up. So those two advantages, the fact that you tell a lie, tweet at your own risk, and you don't have the liberty not to appear when you are called, and of course the people involved are people who are highly trained in distilling facts and linking them with the law. So I think really this is the medicine. People have been running up and down. This is now the chance to sort out this matter once and for all.
In other updates, the Anti-Corruption Court has halted the trial in which KARAMOJA Affairs Minister Mary Goretti Kitutu Kimono is facing offences of causing loss of a public property after her alleged involvement in the diversion of iron sheets meant for KARAMOJA region. Lady Justice Jen Okowu Kajuga is doing so, said there is need to first determine the application filed by Kitutu of halting the trial, citing torture and human rights violations afflicted on her while in police custody.
Is it possible that a witness may be nervous knowing that he is being broadcast live?
The Anti-Corruption High Court in Kololo is still proceeding with the hearing of the case, where Minister for KARAMOJA Affairs Mary Goretti Kitutu is facing offences of loss of public property, where she mismanaged iron sheets meant for KARAMOJA region. Minister Kitutu appeared in court together with her accused persons, her brother Michael Naboya and her personal assistant Joshua Baho. However, Minister Kitutu filed an application challenging the Attorney General on grounds that she was tortured while in police custody, where she was allegedly denied food and water for 3 days, hence violating her rights. She further told court that the process leading to her arrest by the Uganda Police Force, the interrogation by the Parliamentary Presidential Affairs Committee, and other state institutions subjected her to torture, cruel, inhuman and degrading treatment during the course of investigations against her. With this, Minister Kitutu wants court to dismiss all the charges against her following the torture inflicted on her. Following Kitutu's submissions, her lawyers led by Jude Byamukama asked court to halt the trial pending the determination of this application filed against the Attorney General. However, prosecution led by Jonathan Mwaganya objected to the application on grounds that the question of human rights violations could have been raised before the commencement of the trial. He further added that the application is not yet fixed and it's not even clear which court or trial court will hear and determine the same, since it's a civil matter. However, in her ruling, Justice Okuo granted the defense lawyers' prayers and halted the trial, saying that she's aware of Chitutu's application and it's before her, based on matters of fundamental human rights, which should be attended to first.
As I said earlier, this court has not been precluded from staying the proceedings even if that application is in review but not being unnoted. Of course, there will be other issues to grounds to satisfy, but even if that has been allotted elsewhere, once the issue is raised, with that said, I therefore allow the application to stay. As I said, I've got the question to do otherwise. I will therefore proceed to fix miscellaneous application 53 of 2023 for hearing and determine it first.
She has thus fixed the application for hearing on September 19, 2023, with orders that the main case will continue coming for mention until the application is determined. The main case is fixed for September 14, 2023. Rebecca Natongo, UBC News.
A heavy hailstorm has left property worth millions destroyed in Pachwa sub-county Kagadi district. The disaster, which lasted for over 2 hours, started at around 5 p.m. Living crops, animals and buildings including schools and churches are badly destroyed. Some of the schools that got destroyed included Kahuniro Primary School, Pride Mixed Primary School, and the community hall at Pachwa Model Primary School. Others that felt the brunt of the hailstorm were churches, commercial buildings, and electric poles were also brought down by the heavy winds. Several families were left homeless after the storm and are now calling on the Ministry of Disaster to come to their rescue.
yange kwenda kukinga no kusakara agiona mpweriwe tinyine kinti ham kandi kakubebere hikiro kwaiga mbanya kugitira nukumfuna mu sente gibite beta kezire
bararia abantu ndeho bafune bitabo saze ntinyine nekyo kutunda no kuriya mti bari muna katakuri nakam.
In other activities of the day, the Pakistanis living in Uganda and the overseas Pakistani Global Foundation Africa, a body, have held a blood donation camp in Kampala as one of the activities marking 75 years of Pakistanis independence. The Pakistanis High Commission told Uganda, that is Mohammed Wazir Hassan, he says that they want to celebrate this day with Ugandans when they are healthy. The Pakistanis celebrate their Independence Day every 14th day of August.
I really thank the OPGFA for organizing this important blood donation camp here in Kampala today. It is in connection with the 14th of August, the Independence Day of Pakistan, and I am really, you see, much impressed by the presence of so much people who came from across Kampala, and they have donated their blood. So I think this is a very noble cause, and we must appreciate it, and we must appreciate the health authorities provided by the government for collecting the blood from here. And I much appreciate other people to come and donate their blood because it is needed everywhere, in each and every hospital in Uganda, and it is important to save lives of other people, you see, for the good of the people. So I think this is very important that we must contribute at least in this noble and simplest.
We took this initiative like 5 years before, that you have to save lives donating bloods. So we as OPGF are proud to be a part of with the blood bank and transfusion, both government organizations. That is a noble initiative, and we always do in our August month because it's an independence month of our beloved country Pakistan. So we want to celebrate our independence with the people. We live here in Africa. This is our home country as well. So we save lives, donate bloods. That's our motto. And we appreciate people, and we thanks Excellency as he visited our camp here, and we also thanks the health organizations who came and joined with us.
UBC Lunchtime News. The Ministry of Health has rallied all Ugandans to embrace self-care activities as a strategy to reduce the burden of congestion in health facilities. According to Dr. Charles Olaro, the ministry has already tested the self-care guideline in Mukono and will be launched soon for the public. He was representing the Minister for Health, that is Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng.
The Ministry of Health has called upon the public to prioritize self-care as part of their everyday routines in order to reduce disease burdens that lead to congestion in hospitals. According to Dr. Charles Olaro, the public should take keen interest on control of their health and wellness and also embrace exercising and aerobics.
So it really looks at all those activities which will promote, prevent diseases, and so that it makes you free from ill health. And because when it does that, definitely you don't spend money. So instead of having very long queues in the health facility, if people manage themselves, then they will remain healthy.
He says self-care can help reduce the burden on the congested health facilities. The ministry has already tested the self-care guidelines in Mukono and is expected to be launched soon as an effort to integrate self-care practices within the existing health system.
Government definitely will continue with the guidelines, set standards, because even if we have to have self-care, but it still has to remain safe.
According to the Ministry of Health, the burden of non-communicable diseases like cardiovascular disease has been on an increase, especially due to lack of self-care.
It is not only limited to the exercise. It has issues with the menstrual hygiene. It has issues of preventing teenage pregnancies. It has issues of how do they prevent HIV infection in themselves. So if our theme is talking about sexual reproductive health, we are actually saying we have to protect our girls from unintended pregnancies.
And also with the pilot we did in Mukono district, one of the key challenges that was registered is the challenge of stock out for self-care commodities. So we need to make sure that we strengthen that area.
And tools and frameworks to facilitate the implementation.
State Minister for Primary Education Dr. Joyce Moriko Gaducho recently traversed schools in Dokolo District, emphasizing promotion of the well-being among learners.
And they are taking personal responsibility of their health. We want to tell the parents, drink clean water, eat balanced diet, go and test for cancer, test for diabetes, screen for cervical cancer, cancer of the prostate. This is all about self-care, so that you are aware of your body.
According to the World Health Organization, over 4 million people lack access to most essential health services, and over 100 million people die in poverty because of high expenditure on health. This year's belated International Self-Care Day was celebrated in Dokolo District under the theme Advancing Sexual and Reproductive Health, Enhancing Primary Health Care and Contributing to Universal Health Care Coverage. Eddie Oloa, UBC News.
It's super fast internet. It's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Fun battery phone.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachiko. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. We want to
should do? Just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief, and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government, designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to Windy to see the gorillas.
Then we watched the cup final in London. On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons again. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Welcome once again to UBC News this afternoon. Now taking you on to business this Saturday. We're seeing the climate crisis, not a future threat. It is threatening the livelihoods of so many communities in the low and middle income countries. A TAD Foundation, a Uganda organization, is championing the Ugandan youth contribution into the Just Transition conversation with an intention of empowering them to shape a brighter tomorrow. Dennis Sigoa reports more on that.
And it says, when I first heard about climate change, I was filled with fear and rage, pointing at each and every cause and mostly disappointed in humanity. How could we be so greedy and selfish? But as
this is Grace Ninsima, a climate change champion, author and member of the Little Earth Soldiers. At 8 years, Ninsima is already in the front line, championing the just transition agenda and encouraging children to take keen interest in climate change issues.
And this book was meant mostly to teach children and also adults, because I believed that climate change is not only for the elites. And I got support from my fellow Little Earth Soldiers, like the one who was here. Yeah, my fellow Little Earth Soldiers and my parents support, people who fund, yeah.
So I'm so sure this is your favorite paragraph inside the book, isn't it so? Can you? She's among the participants at the Just Transition Summit in Kampala, organized by TAD Foundation. The summit seeks to empower youth to take action and join the accelerating journey of building a sustainable and equitable world.
We hope to have breakout sessions, more like workshop sessions, with different groups discussing and putting together that which we shall, add in the youth declaration. And this youth declaration still will be representing the youth voice when it comes to a Just Transition Summit.
Africans are not so much included, so we are always excluded. So it is that we African youth, we have no option because we don't control these global systems. But we have to do everything we can to see that we sensitize our fellow youth, we sensitize our public.
Just transition is a powerful concept that lies at the heart of tackling climate change while promoting social equality.
That countries like Uganda need to focus on less polluting development agenda. However, this is not sufficient to think that low developed countries should not necessarily pollute without addressing the key ills of what other global economies have depended on to thrive. And therefore, as we have this just transition conversation, our partners should be very serious about availing facilities to fund adaptation, but also to reparatively contribute to loss and damage.
As the world strives to transition to a low-carbon economy, there is an appeal for youths to be involved in the conversations and their pertinent views captured. Community engagement is essential for a successful transition from fossil fuels and the overdependence on the use of biomass fuels in a developing economy like Uganda. Dennis Igoa for UBC News in Kampala.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN WakaNet router, which connects up to 32 devices and gets a free 40 GB data bundle at only 149,000 shillings. Or buy the MTN WakaNet MiFi at only 75,000 shillings and enjoy a free 15 GB bundle to stream, study, work, and play on the go. Visit any MTN service center to buy the MTN WakaNet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
Good to know you're still watching and following this particular newscast now. 2 international updates. Taking you to Ukraine, they are talented, smart and ambitious, and they are in the middle of a war. But 84 Ukrainian high school students aren't letting the war short-circuit their dreams and are preparing to apply to the top US colleges and boarding schools with the help of the non-profit group.
USA. I dream about Williams College. School studying and but
European,
I want to study a very narrow field of biology to return to Ukraine and share my knowledge and implement all my gained skills in Ukrainian university to bring up a new generation of scientists who are interested in biology.
This boot camp is a very intense, information, educational camp. We, go over this application process in very, very detailed. The whole concept even of the essay is something absolutely new to them because this is not something that they learn at Ukrainian schools.
More international talk, more US-bound migrants from former Soviet republics arrive in Mexico. Despite US efforts to curb migration, the flow of migrants at Mexico's northern border continues. But it's not just people from Central and South American nations.
Men from Tajikistan in Central Asia, once a part of the Soviet Union, bound for the United States. They are here in Mexico requesting asylum because of the war in Ukraine.
I won't go to America.
Immigration officials say they're seeing more asylum seekers from post-Soviet countries. The Mexican government reports the number of migrants from Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan almost doubled from 2021 to 2022, and the numbers are still rising. Reporter Ulambek Asanaliev, who works for Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty's Uzbek service, set out to find out why and document their journey.
Sometimes they get in touch with criminals, cartels.
Asanaliev learned that many of the asylum seekers had Russian citizenship and could have been conscripted to fight in the war in Ukraine. Instead, they chose to flee.
More than 1 million people from Kyrgyzstan, for example, they are working as work laborers in Russia. And same as in Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, you know. And after the war started in Russia, situation changed.
Many of these migrants are making their way to the Mexican border cities of Tijuana and Reynosa. Carlos Victor Peña Ortiz is the mayor of Reynosa.
Many people from Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan and many other countries are now passing through this border. The migration flow continues to increase.
Most arrive first in Mexico City or Cancun before heading to border ports of entry. But many of the migrants from post-Soviet countries in Central Asia don't go to shelters seeking help, says Enrique Lucero, director of Tijuana's Migrant Affairs Office.
As in the case of Asia and Russia, or those from Kazakhstan, people from all those regions are staying in hotels.
But for many, it took all they had to get here. Fayud says it took him 4 months to make it to Mexico, hoping to get asylum in the United States.
And all my money finished for hotel. I don't have money. For food, I don't have money.
Four from Belarus?
These 4 migrants are from Belarus, a Russian ally that shares a border with Ukraine.
Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan.
This man, part of a group of 25 people from Kyrgyzstan, hopes to make his way to a relative in the U.S.
Philadelphia. Okay. You have friends there? I have friends. Yes. I have a brother.
They joined the thousands of others waiting at the border, hoping for safety and a new start in the United States. For Vicente Calderón in Tijuana and Víctor Hugo Castillo in Reynosa, Veronica Villafañe, VOA News.
Well, Newsroom is working around the clock to bring you more updates later on your timely news hours of the day. Thank you so much for watching this particular newscast. My name is Sandra Kahunde, bringing you greetings from the team behind the scene. Enjoy your Saturday.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Introducing the Infinix Note 30 series in partnership with Airtel Uganda, a smartphone where style meets functionality. Take charge of the day with special features like the Wanna